Costello, don't be such a coward. Why don't you admit that you can't swim?
Who can't swim? Every night I go swimming after dinner.
You mean you swim on a full stomach?
No, I swim on my back. Last night I was out swimming in the ocean. I saw a school of whales swimming 8 feet above the water.
Now, just a second. How could a school of whales swim 8 feet above the water?
This was a high school.
Oh, for goodness sake, a high school. Well, we're going to see how much you know about swimming. I challenge you to a swimming race right now.
There you are, Costello. Kitzel is calling you bluff.
Yeah?
All right, Kitzel, tell you what I'll do. Do you see that little red light way out in the water?
Yeah.
Well, we'll swim out to that red light and back. And the guy who makes it in the fastest time wins.
Okie dokie, I'll go for you.
Go ahead.
Well, there he goes, Costello. He's swimming straight for the red light. You'd better be ready to try it when Kitzel gets back.
Kitzel ain't coming back.
Isn't coming back? What do you mean?
That red light is on the back end of a boat going to China.
Costello, this is ridiculous. We've been rowing around this harbor in the dock for over an hour. They've chased you off every ship. Nobody wants to hire you as a sailor. And besides, I'm very hungry.
Oh, here's a bottle of milk. Catch yourself a fish.
What kind of a fish could I catch with a bottle of milk?
Catfish.
No. Look, let's go back to shore.
Not me, Abbott. I'm going to every boat in this harbor until I get a job.
Hey, look. There's a boat bearing down on us now.
Ahoy in there, rowboat! Can you spare a dime for a cup of coffee?
A dime for a cup of coffee? Who are you?
Oh, just a tramp steamer.
Here's a quarter, Niles. Go scuttle yourself, will you?
Hey, Costello, there's a big ship lying at anchor. And there's a ladder hanging over the side. Look, I'll grab you by the coat and boost you up.
What rip?
Your coat is gone.
Then you better grab me by the shirt. What rip?
Your shirt is gone now. I'll grab you by the trousers.
I'm afraid to ask.
What's coming off down below?
You'd be surprised.
Better get you aboard.
Never mind aboard. Give me a barrel.
Stand by below. I'm sending down my first mate.
Put something around me, Abbott. Quick. His wife is coming down.
Ahoy up there. Don't bother sending down your first mate.
All right, I'll send down my second mate.
How do you like that? The guy's a bigamist. Don't send down your second mate either.
How about the third mate?
The guy's got 3 mates. What is this, to see a matrimony?
Oh, go ahead, Costello. Climb aboard.
Well, welcome to the SS Sponge.
This sponge is soaked.
Hey, you must be our new admiral.
Just a minute, Captain.
Wait a minute,
This is-
quiet.
Hey, what's the matter?
Abbott, this guy thinks I'm an admiral.
Oh,
This is my big chance to run my own ship.
take it easy.
Here I go. Watch me put
Take
it on.
it easy. Go ahead.
Crank up the ship. Let's get started. Put it in gear.
Oh, but sir, you can't start the ship until you get steam up.
I'll get steam up. Hey, steam.
Yes, sir.
Get up.
Anything else, sir?
Yeah. Batten down the hatches.
But the hatches are all battened down.
Batten them down again. We'll show those hatches.
Wait a minute, Costello. You can't make this ship go until you weigh the anchor.
Okay, Abbott, bring me the scales.
No. Before you start, Costello, you'd better get all your hands on deck.
Get what?
Your hands. Where are your hands?
In my pocket, you dope.
Costello, what about the weather? Did you get the weather forecast?
The what?
The weather forecast. How do you find the weather?
I opened the window and there it was.
Now, this is serious, Costello. Suppose we run into a storm.
Oh, I don't think we'll have a storm.
How about a shower?
Take one if you think you need it.
Oh.
And I think you need it.
Never mind.
I think we both need it.
All right. Come on, Costello. Let's go up on the captain's bridge.
On his what?
That thing over there is the captain's bridge.
For goodness sakes, how does he get that big thing in his mouth?
Pardon me, sir, but we'd better not set sail. The barometer is falling.
Well, pick it up and let's get going. Avast, you slobs, swabs! Larboard the mainsail, raise the jib sail, lower the sheets, and change the bedspread.
Well, we're moving, Costello. Isn't this wonderful? Here we go over the bounding waves. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Stop the boat! Stop the boat!
Stop the boat, Abbott! Stop the boat!
What's the matter with you?
Something terrible is going to happen.
How do you know? Are you psychic?
No, I'm seasick.
You'll be all right in a minute. Let's take a walk around the deck.
Hey, Abbott.
What?
Isn't the air wonderful?
What do you mean?
What's that little coop up on top of the ship?
That's the crow's nest.
The crow's nest?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up and take a peek at the little darlings.
Oh, please. There are no crows up there.
Then what are those big birds flying around up there?
Those are gulls.
How can you tell the gulls from the boys?
No. Come on, please, Costello, please.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, I want to climb up in that crow's nest and gather some eggs.
There are no eggs in that crow's nest.
There must be. A couple of them just dropped after that last gag.
Look, please, forget about the eggs.
I wish I was an egg.
What do you mean? Now, take it easy.
Recitation.
Now, wait a minute. Look.
Recitation.
Just a minute. Look.
Recitation.
Now, be careful what you're saying.
I'd like to be a little egg sitting in a tree. When you'd walk by, I'd break myself and splatter thee with me. Some yolk.
Yes, plenty. Costello, please, cut that kind of stuff out. Well, I think I'll go below and get something to eat.
Where do I eat?
Well, you can mess with the captain's wife.
Not me. I ain't messing with nobody's wife.
Oh, pardon me, sir. We'll have to turn back. We're going to run into a squall.
Costello, look. Something looming up ahead of us in the fog.
Yeah. He's trying to run into us.
Yes.
Hey, you! Don't you know the rules of the sea? Get out of the way. Do you want us to run into us? What do you mean, run into you? This is a lighthouse. Well, get it out of the way. You're on the wrong side of the street anyway. And dim your lights. You're blinding me.
Costello, you'd better let me take that wheel before we're all killed.
Don't you get worried, Abbott. Don't you worry. I can steer this boat. I know every rock along this coast. That must be a strange one. Hey.
Costello, I think you struck a reef.
A what?
Reef.
You were barking much better in the first spot.
Right.
Hey, we're moving again.
Look out, Costello. There's a little fishing boat dead ahead.
Fresh clams at 25 cents a dozen. Fresh clams at 25 cents a dozen. Clam a chowder, 10 cents a bowl. Clam a chowder. Hey, Abbott, get me some crackers. I'm in the sloop again.
Say, Costello.
Yeah.
Did you know that your kid brother Sebastian was sitting in the control room all through the show tonight?
Yeah? What's he doing in there? I'm going to find out. Hey, Sebastian. Come on out here.
Hello, Uncle Bud. Hello, Louie. I came down here tonight to ask you guys to do me a favor.
Well, what's on my mind? I mean, what's on your mind? Abbott, if I'm going to play these double parts, I want more money.
Come on, Sebastian. What do you want?
Well, Uncle Bud, I'm thinking of starting a program of my own. And I got a couple of good guys to help me do it, Midgie Shields and Tommy Lamb. And we want to put on a nice program. Now, you know all the big shots in radio. You can help me.
Well, we'd like to help you, Sebastian, but really, we don't know anybody.
Don't give me that. I heard this program tonight. You must know somebody.
Now, look, Sebastian, I'm surprised at you to think that you would come out here on this microphone and deliberately try to discredit the acting ability of your brother Lou and myself. How can you be so ungrateful? What in the world is the matter with you?
Oh, I'm a bad boy.
Good night, folks.
And that was the Abbott and Costello radio program from January the 25th, 1945. We're putting another call through to Hollywood, this time to speak with Miss Hilary Brook, an American actress who is now retired, who worked with Abbott and Costello in movies and also in their very successful television series. Very soon, on the line, Hilary Brook. Hilary Brook. Hello, Miss Brook.
Hello, Mr. Newton. How are you?
Do you mind if I call you Hilary?
Not at all. Please do, and I'll call you Bert.
That suits me just fine. Well, any tribute to Bud Abbott and Lou Costello would not be complete without speaking with yourself, because, of course, you work with them in feature films and also their very successful television series. What are your memories of the boys?
Well, they're simply wonderful. They really are, because I enjoyed working with them so very, very much. I know I can only say that I just loved working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt that everybody should do one Abbott and Costello picture a year because it was so much fun and you became so relaxed. It was a marvelous experience, and I feel very fortunate that I was able to work with him. And I must also say that Lou taught me an enormous amount about comedy, because I thought he was one of the really greatest comedians that we had. He was so filled with things to do and ideas, and they just simply poured out of him. And many times, actually, on the set, the director would say, now, keep the camera on Lou, because many times they never knew what he was going to do. Because in the middle of a scene, he would decide to do something that hadn't been rehearsed. And as a matter of fact, the first time I worked with him, I called my agent and said, I just can't do it. Mostly because we didn't get cues, and it was sort of free and easy. And but once you learn to work with Lou, it was a great joy, and I wouldn't have missed it for anything in the world. I remember when we made Captain Kidd, Charles Lawton had the first few days had a tremendous problem working with him because you had to work with Lou. That was sort of, there was no other way to work it out. But once Charles sort of caught on, he had the time of his life. He had a wonderful time and said he wouldn't have missed it for anything, which I think is very interesting.
Of course. And Hilary, also, it's very interesting to note that, you know, if you go through any of the films that they made, and certainly have a look at their television series, you came closest to being the female Bud Abbott. There was a great rapport that obviously Lou felt with you.
Yes, we were really great friends. I really loved Lou. And the marvelous thing was that he knew it, and I know that he loved me. And we really had a very special relationship. It was just something that, you know, was there. And well, you know the feeling when you have a very special friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Lou and I were great friends, and I really loved him so dearly, and I know that he loved me. Of course, they used to play a lot of tricks on me, but I also used to play a lot of tricks on him, too.
What sort of things would he do?
What?
What sort of things would he do to you?
Well, of course, they had the pies, you know.
Yeah.
And they would chase you with the pies. And one day he was chasing me with a pie, and he chased me into my dressing room, which was off the stage. And in back of my dressing room, there were two small windows. And I closed the door, and I managed to climb out one of the windows. So I came around, and I stood behind the crowd that was waiting to see me get hit with a pie. And, of course, when Lou opened the door, I wasn't there. And I think that's the only time I have ever seen him speechless, because I was gone. Of course, I shouted at him from the back of the crowd and ran.
It's lovely. What about your association with Bud Abbott? As close?
Well, no. Bud was very much of an introvert. I do think that Bud was one of the greatest straight men that ever existed. I think their timing was absolutely perfect, and he was a marvelous straight man. But Bud was very much of an introvert. And though he entered into a lot of the things that went on the set, never, of course, in the way that Lou did. He many times would go to his dressing room and stay in his dressing room. And I knew him quite well, but certainly not as well as I knew Lou, because he was far more introverted and wasn't quite difficult to know. And he had Bud had an awful lot of phobias. He never drove a car, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of things like that. And of course the people they had there. Because I love vaudevillians. And all the Sid Fields and Joe Besser and all the wonderful people, you know, that they had working with them. And it was really a very happy and sometimes expensive set. Because in those days they weren't quite as worried about money as they are today. And we used to do an awful lot of things just for fun.
I thank you so much for being with us today. And, Hilary, I'm wondering if I could just ask you one more favour. Today, of course, we're particularly talking about Abbott and Costello, but I'd love to call you back again in the near future and just talk about you, because you've had such an interesting career, apart from Abbott and Costello. Comedians of the ilk of Bob Hope and Red Skelton have enjoyed working with you.
Yes.
I know now that you're retired from acting, but I'd love just to have a talk with Hilary Brook one day.